Hi, my name is John, and I'm some sort of IT computer fixing guy. Well, because I'm a guy.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you.
That adds up.
Exactly. And on top of that, I'm also known for fixing computers.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you.
That computes.
It sure does, and I sure do love everything that goes beep boop to make our lives more interesting. But while I do like playing with the most current gadgets, one of my favorite things to do is to repurpose old technology for the here and now. One of the best examples of that is to repurpose one of your old computers to be your current media center. With Plex, you can load your old computer with music, movies, and TV shows, kind of like your own personal Netflix that can be used at home or away as long as the internet connection is stable on both ends. With Plex, your media goes where you go, and on top of that, it's super easy to manage and use. Go to plex.tv for more information on how to set up a Plex server in your own home. Do you enjoy spending your weekends fine-tuning your project car or truck? If so, you know how important and needed an OBD2 scan tool is. OBD2 scan tool designs can range from very basic, which can definitely help you figure out what's wrong with your vehicle and avoid some costs at the mechanic shop, to the very comprehensive, which can help you diagnose more complicated problems, which would be harder or impossible to diagnose in more basic scanners. With more features and abilities provided to the more comprehensive devices, such as bigger diagnostic screens, more diagnostic abilities, and better capturing capabilities, this usually means more expensive. And if you are in need of a more comprehensive OBD2 scan tool, you probably already know how expensive they can get. Using an old working laptop, you can get an OBD2 to USB scan cable, and with some free software out there, you can build a pretty sophisticated scan tool for much cheaper. On top of that, you also have a research device that is now connected to the internet to further research and hopefully fix whatever issue is causing your sweet ride from rolling once more. Don't got an old laptop, but you do have an old tablet or smartphone kicking around? Well, you can do the same thing, but with a Bluetooth to OBD2 scanner interface and some apps for your smart device. The benefit to using an old laptop or smart device rather than your current equipment is that when fixing a vehicle, you may need to have the device with you, say while you are hanging over an engine bay, or while under a vehicle monitoring a graph, or also just simply playing an instructional video on how to properly replace a part while you are in front of the vehicle with your hands dirty. These are just two of many examples of repurposing old technology to better your life and perhaps save a few buckaroos in the process. Which leads me to my next example of repurposing something old to perhaps expand on your own personal entertainment. Did you know you can build quite the capable gaming rig out of an older PC? By installing a powerful graphics card, adding extra RAM, and upgrading the hard drive to an SSD, you can make quite a nice gaming rig at much lower cost than buying everything new outright. Doing this can get you in the game at a much cheaper price and still leave you with a path to upgrade, as you will already have one of the most expensive and hard components to find out of the way. With the current prices of GPUs, this option is becoming more favorable with people as they can offset the price of a currently way overpriced video card by picking up an older generation processor and motherboard that is still capable. With some luck, you can find a board and chip that has PCIe 4.0 support, and you never know, if you're really lucky, you may find something that has 5.0 support, which would leave you with less of a bottleneck on your GPU. So, in the spirit of repurposing an old computer to make a gaming rig, I'm going to build a capable computer out of only recycled and reused components. And on top of that, instead of using a conventional computer case, I'm going to build one of these into one of these. Yes, a recycling bin, and better yet, this style of recycling bin. Why am I doing this? Because I wanted to show that you can get a lot of use out of an old computer and also keep it out of a place like this. And because it's my computer and I can do whatever the in your mother's ear I want to do with it, okay? Okay, we're cool. All right. We're cool. All right, let's get into it. Let's start by taking the computer out of its current case. This is a Dell XPS 8700 with a Core i7-8700 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and a Quattro NVS for a video card. This video card did not ship with this device. It appears that the former owner swapped the card out at some point. Most likely, the card that came with this XPS could have died, or the former owner could have taken the card out and used it on another computer.
Next, I remove the heatsink from the motherboard. I do this because I want to get a look at the state of the thermal paste, also to see if there's any motherboard screws hidden underneath the heatsink.
When buying a used computer, it's a good idea to check the state of the thermal paste and reapply new paste if needed. Since I am putting the device in a plastic recycling bin, I will need to apply new paste to this processor to assist with keeping the thermals down. But for now, what's on it should be fine for the bench.
After the heatsink has been removed, I begin to remove all power and connection cables. Then I remove the RAM from the motherboard. Now it's time to remove the screws from the motherboard and remove the video card. I'll be using a different video card that I recovered from another build that is more suitable for gaming. This NVIDIA card is more suitable for office work rather than gaming. A few missed screws later, I am ready to take the motherboard out of the case. Now that the board is removed from the case and everything besides the processor is removed from the motherboard, I'm ready to rebuild this computer on a test bench. Since it's only going on a test bench for a short time, I'm only going to use several screws to mount this to the test bench. Now that the motherboard is attached to the test bench, I begin to plug in the power supply and the four 4GB sticks of DDR3 RAM. After remounting the heatsink, I try to turn on the computer to see if it will power on as is. This is when I realize that the current power supply I'm using is dead and would need to be replaced. Luckily for me, the XPS that I have recovered for this build already has a working power supply, so I just quickly swap it out and away we go. We have now successfully confirmed that there is power going to this motherboard and that it will turn on. The next step for me now is to fully torque down the heatsink mounting screws, then attach the video card, plug in a hard drive, and begin installing Windows. While I am getting visuals on the monitor, I'm not fully sure that this video card is in fully operational condition. Once Windows installs, I will need to install the proper drivers for this video card to see if it'll actually display under its drivers rather than Windows basic display drivers. The video card I am using is a Radeon HD 7400, so I will need to get the drivers from Tech Power Up as it is a legacy video card. Now that the video card drivers have successfully installed, I can happily confirm that this video card is in operational condition. And just like that, we now have a fully working computer that is ready to go into its new home, a recycling bin.
And that's where we're going to end it for today. Thanks for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe in the platforms up above, and also stay tuned for part 2.